Like they're saying, oh well, Inception was a fluke. That doesn't happen. It was a summer movie, okay, a summer movie where nothing blew up. There was no action hero, no chick ripping her top off. It was a very intelligent movie that came out in the summer, and it killed. It killed.
Good movie making.
Yes.
Good movie making.
And that's the thing. But here's the thing. Hollywood is treating it like it didn't happen. You look at any Hollywood report, they're acting like, oh, well, Inception, we don't know how that happened. You know? We don't know how something like that would make money. It was. I mean, you know, only Christopher Nolan could do. No, anybody can do it.
Anybody can do it. It happened with I forget the names of these directors.
Well, I mean, you don't have to know. Just as long as you know the movie, you know. Because somebody out there knows it, so don't sweat that. But but as far as the reboot goes, nowadays it's not about. Because let's not pretend we had reboots in our day, like in the 90s. We had reboots.
Like,
but at the same time, they were so few and far in between that we didn't even know.
What's a reboot that was in the 90s?
There was a couple, but there was a couple, but I mean, I need to like go back and look at it. There were some reboots in the 90s.
We already talked about a couple reboot songs in the 90s.
Yeah, but we're not talking about songs. We're talking about movies.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that we know it was reboots in general.
Yeah, but now, like, the reboots in the 90s weren't like, okay, 1996 they came out with a movie, and then like, well, not 1990, let me put it for earlier. 1994 they came out with a movie. 1996 the reboot's coming out. Nowadays, like I said, the Spider-Man movies, Tobey Maguire won't even be well into his 30s before the new Spider-Man comes out. And that pisses me off.
And that's the thing, like, okay, like, if there was a reboot, I can't think of any reboots in the 90s either, but what he's pretty much saying is you don't put out a movie, first off, you don't do a fucking reboot in the same goddamn decade that the original came out.
Exactly.
See what I'm saying? Like, if I can remember going to the theaters to see it, then it's too damn soon for a fucking reboot.
Exactly. I can tell you the Spider-Man 3.
That was a kid.
Yeah, but I can tell you Spider-Man 3 word for word of what happened, you know? That's how well I remember it. And it's like, we're already having a third movie that's not going to be in the six. It's going to be a reboot, like with a brand new cast. Okay, Tobey Maguire's not dead. All the original cast is there. I remember when the first Spider-Man movie came out, and I was hyped to see it. Because I saw the trailer, and I love Spider-Man. Okay, Spider-Man is my hero. And then, so it's like, now you have a reboot coming out? Like, I don't care what anybody says. Like, a lot of people are excited about it. And Larry, you said it too. You know, great cast. I'm not bashing anybody on the cast. Great cast. But the movie is going to suck because it's unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll even go as far as to say the Man of Steel might suffer too.
I think that you have great points.
But see, that's the difference though, because you mentioned it earlier. You said that you felt like Spider-Man 3 wasn't so bad a movie that it needed a reboot. Superman Returns was so bad a movie that it does need a reboot.
Yeah, but not this soon. Like, I don't think this soon.
What is that? 5 years? When did Superman Returns come out? 06? 07?
I think it did.
06. I think, yeah, it was. No, it was the same year as fucking Batman Begins. That was 05.
But who do you blame?
I blame the studio.
The studio.
But for Superman
Returns, rebooting these movies.
For Superman Returns, I specifically blame Bryan Singer for that.
You call him out.
No, because
who would have been directing that movie? That to me would not have been a good movie. The writer, I mean, what was that movie about? Can anybody tell me what that movie was about?
Superman Returns?
Yeah.
Superman Returns was about Superman. Superman went into space because he found out that they actually found Krypton. So he went there to go check it out. He found out it was a fucking ghost town. Came back to Earth. It was a 5-year trip. And by the time he came back, Lex Luthor was in prison. Lex breaks out and decides to set up some type of attempt to assassinate Superman when he found out of Superman returning to Earth. And that's about it.
That wasn't.
Now,
well, in Superman Returns.
Now listen, I can name you just off my head a million freaking story plots that it's better than that.
Yes, that's true.
What was the writers thinking?
No.
Now, because the writers sucked at their job, now they had to reboot.
Hold up. It's not the fact that the writers sucked at the job. Again.
I believe it is.
Hold up.
That movie
Jay.
had bad writers.
Jay.
I believe that movie
Jay.
had bad casting. I
Jay.
believe that movie was bad directed. All around, that was a bad movie.
Jay.
And what made people go see it? I'm going to tell you what made people go see it. The fact of the matter, it had Superman's name on it. If it wouldn't have had Superman's name on it, nobody would have gave it a second chance. Now, because that movie flopped, they want to make a reboot of it because they want that cash now. It's a half and half. The writers got to be good at what they do. The director got to be good at what they do. And the network has to be willing to let the writers create. They did that movie in a way to where they played it safe. They played it conservative because A, they wanted the networks to back it. B, they played it conservative on the fact that at the time, this is around the time that The Dark Knight was blowing up. And they like, oh, well, we need to play it conservative. We don't want to go too far out on a limb where people bash it because like Spider-Man. Spider-Man was a good concept movie, but it didn't work for a movie. Because they let them be too creative. It's a difference between being creative and then going out there on some shit where we can't follow you.
Okay, Jay, the writing for Superman was bad, yes. But again, it's the studio. A writer probably had a major, like a ridiculous script for Superman, like crazy, like great. But a studio head will look at it and say, we're not doing it.
Perfect fucking example.
Here's the thing. Hold up, Larry. I'm gonna let you finish, but
All right, go ahead.
I gotta get on this because the thing is, like Jay, a lot of scripts are written for movies every single day. The problem is the studio owns the right to the Superman character, so it's not like a screenwriter who has a good Superman script can go to another studio and say, "Hey, I got the Superman script." They can't touch it. Warner Brothers owns it, so Warner Brothers can basically say, get any writer they want to write the Superman script and say, we need you to write the Superman script. They write it up, and it's probably like I said, ridiculous, stupid, crazy, got, mad villains in there. A studio head will look at this and say, no, we need some romance in here. Put some romance in here. Writer has to go back, write some romance in there, brings it back. Nah, this is too dark. We need it to be a little bit lighter. Writer has to go back, make it a little bit lighter, come back. Studio head look at it as, no, we need to put a child in here, put a kid in here, because that's gonna get kid viewers. Writer has to go back, put a kid in there, come back. Nah, Lex Luthor's too evil. We need, you know what I'm saying?
But this is what I mean about having respect as a writer or as a director. Same for Batman. Batman started off to the fact to where he did basically what they said. He made a good movie where people come to say. And the reason why Inception got made is because he basically sit down to the, if y'all want Batman to get made again, you gonna give me the money to make the movie I want. It was like, they wrote him a blank check.
True, but
they wrote him a blank check, and a good movie was made. Now you as a writer have to either say, hey, either I can make a good movie or I can make a shitty movie. Which one do you choose? Everybody go through their growing pains. Yeah, you're going to have to make a couple crappy movies or some cliche movies, but eventually you will get the respect that you deserve where you can make good movies.
No, I feel you. I feel you. I'm just saying when it comes to Superman and things like that, the studio owns it, and the studio basically gets the final say on what script they're going to go ahead with. Unfortunately, they went ahead with the,
damn it.
And unfortunately, they went ahead with the Superman Return script.
Dude, can I throw this out here?
Go ahead, Larry.
I'm going to throw this out there. If you have, matter of fact, I'll give you the goddamn link. This link right here. Go ahead and read this. It's called Superman Flyby. J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, that was
July 2002 Superman script.
That was terrible.
If you read it, it's actually pretty damn good. But you know what? The fucking studio refused to pick it up. They refused.
You said Superman Flyby was good?
Yeah, Flyby was the one that I was actually like, this might have been okay.
Lex Luthor being an alien, you were down with that. Lex Luthor actually being a Kryptonian with the powers and all that, you were down with that.
Well, it depends on the delivery. You see, dude, no, think about it though. Think of that concept for a minute.
No, I love J.J. Abrams, but no, because that changes the entire dynamic of Superman and Lex Luthor.
That's why.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, but I mean, again,
for the new people, they wouldn't be for you because you'll be stuck in
no, that's just one thing you can't change. Lex Luthor can get powers his own way. But the whole ordeal between Superman and Lex Luthor was the fact that Superman, it's basically what Lex said in the finale. You had these powers and you didn't want them. You didn't embrace it. I would have embraced it. And if Lex Luthor is a Kryptonian, that changes everything. And no.
But look, I would do it like this. Lex is a Kryptonian and Superman's a normal human. And let's see what happens. How can Superman face this super guy?
Again, that would be a nice story. But for
that would be a nice to see. That's an original movie right there.
But for Lex
An
Luthor,
evil alien and just a normal man trying to defeat him.
for Lex Luthor to already be a Kryptonian.
No, I'm not talking about.
I know,
but
Superman.
I'm talking about that's a story within itself.
No, I agree with Jay Mason. That is a great story.
But look at
for
this.
Superman, it's terrible.
You keep judging off of what we already know about the series, and we trying to revamp. You see what I'm trying to say?
No. See, that's the problem with the studio. We need to revamp. No.
I agree with Ugo. Okay. There's a reason why Superman, why Batman, why all these things ain't good. There's a reason why Dark Knight made so much money. Because wanna know why? It was the Batman movie that we all wanted to see.
Yes,
it was a Batman movie that was like, this is how Batman is supposed to be portrayed in real life.
Exactly. You can't.
I agree with Ugo on that point.
Can't fuck with pre-established.
But y'all gotta understand, Superman is so old. Why not revamp it for the new generation? Give them something.
Name me a child today that don't know Superman.
Maine.
Exactly. It's
Maine,
so old.
Maine. This generation had Smallville. They gotta revamp Superman, and it's
they got it.
That is true.
It's still the same Superman story. It's just broken down for the newer generation.
Because
wait another 10 years to get to it.
Because when them motherfuckers said that they was coming out with Superman Returns, I got pissed because I was like, I don't want Superman Returns. I want Smallville the movie, goddammit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. You can't mess with pre-established continuity. And what the studios are doing nowadays is taking something that already has a fan base and milking it. They're not thinking about the story. They're not thinking about what can we do with this, how can we make this better than it was?
They're thinking about how much money we can get from it.
Yes, because they're not trying to make it better. They're just trying to do it again.
See, dude, and that's what I'm talking about. See, and that's why I want to gear this fucking this discussion to the other problem with the whole reboot thing. I mean, it does have to do with the reboot thing. What that is, like I said, it's that lack of creativity because everything y'all talking about, y'all still talk like Ugo said. It's a already established property. I want fucking originality. I don't want that's what I'm saying. Adaptations. I don't want another Superman. I don't want another Batman, another Spider-Man. I don't want that. I want a new idea. I want and guess what? If it's not a new idea, if you do take a fucking concept that was previously used, you have to fucking change it. You have to do something to it. Perfect fucking example. Star Wars. Star Wars was influenced by so much shit.
Yep.
So much shit. But I bet you can't find a story exactly like Star Wars before Star Wars was made.
Yes, you can actually. It's a samurai film. I forgot the name.
No. The Hidden Fortress and Star Wars are two completely different movies. They have the same story structure, but they don't have spaceships. They don't.
No, of course not. Of course not.
They don't have lightsabers.
Oh, of course not.
They don't have the Force. They don't have none of that shit. And that's what I'm talking. That's the difference that I'm talking about. Here was a story. And that's another thing. An Akira Kurosawa, black and white Japanese film, an American sci-fi fantasy epic. Do you see the difference in contrast between those two?
I feel you.
That's what I'm talking about. Even if you don't, I'm not asking you to reinvent the fucking light bulb. What I'm asking you is to invent a new watt.